Hey guys, it's me, Stanley. I've had too much coffee today, so let's do this. Today I'm going to discuss 3 important tips I learned about making comics. I learned these tips while working on my own comic book. Full disclosure, I did not take notes for this video. I never take notes, I never do scripts, and that's why the quality of my videos is the way it is. But I'll just wing it. Let's just go into it. So the first tip is to remember the importance of buffering. Buffering is when you draw a lot of pages in advance and then post them in a schedule. If you've done comics in the past, you probably knew that already and how important buffering is. I wish back in the day I started buffering earlier, but sadly I did not. So I think it's safe to say that I've had a lot of hiatuses happen in my comic. I think it's the second time I re-upload my comic in order to get buffering time. I'm currently buffering the pages of issue 3 of Superhuman, but it's taking some time. I hope I would do the whole chapter before I start posting it, but knowing me, I would get impatient and I would start posting them later on, but I should listen to my own advice and buffer before posting. The second advice is don't underestimate backgrounds. I hate drawing backgrounds, it's the worst. I'm not very good at drawing backgrounds. I hate it, but I need to do this more and I'm trying to do it more in my comic. In issue 3 there are more background oriented stuff. I have establishing shots with backgrounds happening in them. Backgrounds galore. I'm good at perspective and stuff like that, I think. At least I like to think I'm good at perspective. But I'm just very impatient when it comes to backgrounds. I hate it. I prefer drawing people, not buildings. But I need to swallow my pride and do some damn backgrounds. A cool way to draw backgrounds, or at least an easy way, is to look at some references, or there was this software that can be used online called SketchUp, I think it was, and you can basically build 3D models of buildings and landscapes and stuff like that, and you can use that as a reference for backgrounds and such. I don't use that. I don't know why. I know about this software, but for some reason I haven't used it yet. I think because it was in the back of my head and I forgot about it, which is very, very dumb, very lame. I should hop on that horse. Other ways that you can draw backgrounds is to look at photos of buildings, trees, stuff. Depending on the backgrounds. My story is happening in a urban setting, in the city, so I mostly look at city buildings and stuff like that. So go make up some cool backgrounds while you're buffering your pages and being a good comic artist. And the third tip is kind of long. It's about speech bubbles, dialogue, and fonts. In Superhuman I basically learned the importance of composing speech bubbles into a page in a way that doesn't seem jarring or kind of doesn't fit in. Speech bubbles that are just slapped in there. Also, my first font was it was one of Photoshop's default fonts. It looked really bad. I don't recommend it. I downloaded another font later on that was more comic book-esque, but then I found out I couldn't use it for commercial reasons, so that's also something you need to watch out for. Use a font that you can use for commercial reasons. Photoshop's default fonts, I think they're all free for commercial use, but none of them worked for me, so I downloaded a font called Comica, and now it's doing wonders for me, but I had to go back and change the fonts to all of my pages and then reformat the text in the speech bubbles in a way that fits in. It was difficult, time consuming, I hated it, and that's why you should think about fonts and speech bubbles in advance so you don't end up in my situation. A bonus thing I learned about making a webcomic is that generally webtoons are more popular than page-by-page comics. Personally, I prefer the page-by-page comic style, but probably I'd use the scroll down method for my other stories. We'll see. I'm trying it out here in the comic I'm drawing right now. It's just a small strip. It's not really a scroll down type of comic, but I'm composing the panels kind of like a webtoon. It's a very short scene, as you can see. You probably recognize Simon, and other guy next to him who's talking to him is Noah. The Simon and Noah story is still in production, or more like still in a draft form, or not even a draft form, it's just in my head. And I have the characters, and I sometimes like doing comic strips of them interacting or doing stuff, or like individual illustrations. I haven't drawn them systematically in a long time now. They're kind of old. They're not my newest characters, and there was a gap between me drawing them. As I told you in my Creepshow art hate video, Simon and Noah are both witches. They do witchcraft. They're not like Harry Potter. I'm sorry for my bad pronunciation. I am Bulgarian. So they're not like Harry Potter. Sorry. Sorry. They're not like him. They're more like the traditional witches of old England. Not just England, but like around the world. In my universe, there are people called witches who use magic. Some of them learn magic, others are gifted with the power to tap into magic, and through learning it, they can get better with it. It all depends. Everyone has every normal person has their magic affinity, a type of magic affinity, magical talents, but sometimes in most cases, those talents need to be unlocked somehow. So there are ways to unlock your magical affinity. Some do it through studying and practicing magic, and others can get an instant unlocking of their powers by striking a deal with usually it's other witches, but very, very old ones who can unlock powers in people. Noah was taught magic, and that's how he learned it, while Simon was born with magical talents from his inheritance. Because some witches can inherit some magical powers from their family line, for instance. Simon in particular just has a special soul, which gives him the power over witchcraft and more affinity to magic. In other news, as you can see, I'm making the line art digitally. So can you guess what that means? It means I got my tablet pen fixed. Actually, it wasn't fixed, but my brother gave me a new one, a completely new one, brand new, beautiful, gorgeous. My favorite, it's my baby. It's everything I wanted in life. I would cry, but I don't want to cry on camera because I sound even worse when I cry. My voice gets very... I don't know how to describe it. It's not good. Nobody deserves to hear me cry. But yes, my tablet is working again. I can draw. I can do this. I don't need to use a mouse. I don't need to scan line art. I am extremely grateful for this. My brother basically gave me this tablet pen as a gift for my graduation. And I'm so freaking glad I have it. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Now I can draw Simon and Noah's beautiful little faces. And also Sam and Rise's beautiful little faces. Without the fear of really thick line art. Which is not really my forte because I like a lot of detail in my works. As you can see, very pretty eyes. Simon's little heart-shaped nose. And stuff like that. I say stuff like that a lot. I noticed that. I don't like it. Leave me a comment saying that I should stop. This turned into a very rambly video. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. This turned into a very rambly video, but I feel like I like those better than the ones where I have a clear-cut mission statement. I feel like I need to go through some rambling in order to get my video flow. I'm still very new to YouTube. I need to find myself in these videos. I need to find my voice, my personality. That sounds awful, but I need to do some... I need to test the waters, you know? Like, I'm still not taking the whole YouTube thing very seriously. I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like probably if my channel grows, I'll take it more seriously, but for now I only have like... This is my 4th video, I think? No, actually it's the 5th one. I only have like 5 videos and they're not very special. They're just things I like. They're not really good quality, but I don't mind that, and I hope my viewers don't really mind that. Before I go into even more rambling, I'm going to say I hope these tips are I hope these lessons are useful for you. If you're trying to make a comic book, I feel like these are the most basic lessons ever, yet I kind of skipped them the first time I started doing my comic. I hope you understand they're very important. Also, a few minor things about making a comic. Make sure you make a script as well. The way I don't do for my videos, and that's why they turn out so rambly. But yeah, make a script. It's important. When you make a script for your comic, you outline the story. There's a lot of background noises happening. I'm sorry, I've had a lot of coffee. But yeah, make a script. That way you know where your story is going. You would line up the dialogue, and you don't have to follow the script religiously. You can add bits and pieces there and now while you're drawing your pages. You can, I usually don't add stuff to the script, but like I add on to the pages. Maybe some comical stuff, maybe, I don't know. Depends on my mood. The mood while I'm drawing and the mood in my scene. So I'm gonna go off on a tangent again, so I'll just not do that and tell you to like and subscribe if you like. I've never said that in a video before, but like and subscribe, turn on notifications if you really feel the need to. Follow my social media down below. I have a merch store where I sell Superhuman merch. I have stickers of Rise. I have a telekinetic gun. I need to do more. I need to upgrade my merch store. I also have a Redbubble account where I post design stuff. Like I make designs and they're not based on my comic, they're just random designs. I also have a coffee account if you want to buy me a coffee. God knows I don't need any more coffee. And a DeviantArt account, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed this video and this speed paint. I feel like the speed paint turned out pretty nice, in my humble opinion. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!